Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to me today.
Pleasure.
So let's just kick off. If you could just tell me a little bit about what it is you do.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. So I am Business Development Director for a range of different businesses, from fresh food, produce, to recruitment, to kind of it's research and development, tax relief, to a marketing, best way to describe it, marketing consultancy, along with a few others. So yeah, there's quite a range of different industries that I work in.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. Like a lot of variety gives you something to be, to sort of gauge your interest and keep your interest going. So what I'm interested in is talking to people who really love their work.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
can you tell me what is it about your work that you really love?
For me, it's got to be. I love meeting people. I love building relationships. I enjoy going out and meeting people and seeing if there's anything I can do to help grow their business. It could be that I have a connection in my business arena that actually could really benefit their business. So I love connecting people, and I just love the variety of the different people that I work with and the people that I get to meet. So yeah, that's probably the main part.
Okay. Do you work mainly alone, or do you, I mean, obviously you're out and about meeting new people all the time, but in terms of organising your own work, do you work mainly alone, or do you work closely with?
I do work closely with the other team members. I mean, so because of the different, the 7 businesses that we work with, there's obviously 7, I suppose, different managing directors, and with that, we all work as part of a team. So yes, there's flexibility. I can go into the office and work with the team, and we all brainstorm, we all come up with ideas to improve all of the different areas of the businesses. But I also have the flexibility of perhaps working from home or working from another venue, and I can work on my own. Depending on the work that I have on, depends on whether I'll go into the office, because sometimes I'm more productive working from home because it's quiet. But then sometimes I like to go and be in the office and kind of just share in the atmosphere. And actually, I think you can learn more because of listening to everybody else on the phone. So I think it's quite nice to be able to do both.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. You've got the flexibility of deciding whether you need the time to focus or whether you need the time to, bounce ideas off other people. Yeah, that sounds really good. And how do you get on with the people that you work with?
Very good. I have to say, I have worked in roles before where there's always perhaps been a couple of team members that you don't always, and do you know what, you're never going to get on with everybody. I think for me the most important thing is that I get on with most of the people in the office, and certainly the ones that I probably would spend more time with, then yes, that's really important. But I can honestly say that at the moment there isn't anybody. We all get on, we all socialise very well together. We know how far we can push each other in terms of jokes and that sort of thing, and it just makes for a really nice, relaxed working environment. And there isn't really a day when I think to myself, do you know what, I don't want to go into the office today. I don't want to bump into so and so, and do you know what, we had crosswords, or there's just not anything like that, which is quite refreshing, and it does make going into work enjoyable.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything in particular that the organisation that you work for does to encourage that kind of team collaboration?
Yeah, I think I think it's very much you're given the what's the word? Not so much autonomy, but they will allow you, they trust you, and I think for me that's the key, that they trust that whatever I'm doing, I might not go into the office for a few days, but they know and they trust that what I'm doing is worthwhile, and I kind of feel that that just changes the atmosphere in the office, because everybody knows that they are also trusted, and we've got that environment where you might not see each other for 2 weeks, but everyone knows that you're busy doing something. Yes, we send in our reports at the end of the week. We do have our catch-ups, but I think everybody is just relaxed because there's no micromanagement as such. Some people work well with micromanagement. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of micromanagement. I like to know that the people that I'm working for trust that I know what I'm doing and respect that what I'm doing is right for their business. So I do think that makes a big difference to how our atmosphere, and everybody, we are serious about the business, but actually we also do have fun at the same time. And I think that is also very important, because that in everybody there is that relaxed environment, but when we need to be serious and we need to be focused, we are, and we can, and we will be.
That sounds really good. It sounds like
it does almost kind of sound too good to be true, but it's as I say, I feel very lucky that I get to do a job that I love to do, and I'm surrounded by people that I can learn from, that they want, and the difference is as well, they all want their businesses to grow. I've worked for companies in the past where it almost feels that it's just a bit of a, well, we'll do this, I need to do something to earn some money, so I'll do, there's not really a passion, but everybody that's involved, they really are passionate about wanting to grow their business.
Okay. So you said that in the past you worked in places where there have been perhaps difficult working relationships. Could you give an example there of something that you did to resolve that situation? Or I'm sounded like I'm on a recruitment interview now, don't I? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Not at all.
But I'm just thinking, for people who are facing challenging situations, or if you think it's helpful, if you can give an example of a challenging situation that you've had to deal with, even in this team that you love, you really enjoy working in.
There's probably not been anything challenging with my current role. In previous roles, I came up against team members that were always, I'm very much working together, collaborate. Even with different businesses, I don't believe in being competitors, and as I still think you can all work together because everyone offers something different, and I think that's the same with team members. You all work for the same company, you all want to have the same outcome that the business does well. In previous roles, I've had former colleagues that I've worked with that have either they haven't perhaps liked the way I've done something, or perhaps they don't like the way that I'm ambitious, and when I've felt a little bit that it's been a difficult situation, to be honest, I've actually just approached them and I've asked them to have a quick 5-10 minute chat with me, have a coffee, and just say, look, I feel that there's something, there's a bad atmosphere between us, or something's not right. We work together. Can we try and resolve it? Have I done something that to upset you, or have I done an action that has frustrated you? And given them the chance to actually say to me, well, actually, do you know what, Liz? You annoyed me the other day because that was my client, or something. And often we've been able to resolve it. Sometimes it can just be a clash of personalities. Sometimes actually, when I've done that, someone has said, well, do you know what, Liz? I don't like perhaps how you might conduct yourself on the phone, or I didn't like the fact that, or I don't like the way you speak to people, or it is just, do you know what, there really isn't anything, but we just don't. And that's fine, because then you say, well, how do we work together then? How can we move forward if there is a bit of a clash of personalities, or if I've done something to upset you, I apologise, can we move forward? And then just try and find a way of working together that, okay, if it is just that you don't like me, well, we'll just try and keep apart as if that's possible, or just acknowledge the fact that, do you know what, we don't have to really like each other, we've got to carry on working together, and you just make the best of what it is.
So you just need to find a way of working together.
Yeah, and I've managed people in the past, and I've had situations where I've had team members that have been that way, or they've perhaps had a bit of, they've been at loggerheads, and I've just sat them down and said, right, we've got to work together, so you've got one of two choices. We can either talk about it and resolve it, or it carries on and it's ruining the atmosphere in the office, or if you don't like it, one of you needs to leave, because I'm very much a person, as I say, I'm very much you've got one or two choices. You can either enjoy what you're doing and make the best of what you're doing, or you can carry on doing something that you don't enjoy or you feel horrible about and you're miserable. I just, for me, life is too short. You spend most of your time at work. You spend more time at work than you do at home, so actually why not try and do something you enjoy? I appreciate not everybody is that lucky, but in my eyes then I would just try and make the best of it. So when there has been perhaps clashes or there's been a bit of I've wanted to resolve it, and I would say to anybody that is going through something like that, is just, if you feel you can, approach them and just say, look, can I just grab 5 minutes? If you don't feel you can do it directly, then perhaps speak to someone in HR or speak to a colleague where actually you could say, look, could you just join me in this conversation? Because I just want, I've just always been the kind of person that just nips it in the bud straight away. If you're feeling if you feel something's not right, talk about it.
Yeah. So it sounds to me as if it's about your approach really, is that you just don't like to let things slide. You want to deal with issues as they arise.
Because I think if you don't, it can just snowball. And also because I guess the kind of personality I'm quite I am a people person, so it upsets me. So if someone at work I wasn't getting on with particularly well, or if I felt that there was something not quite right, I probably then I would struggle when I go home. I'm the kind of person I would take it home with me. I probably wouldn't sleep. I'd be worried because I'd be thinking, oh, gosh, what have I done? If I've done something to upset someone, I want to put that right. I'm not someone that could just let it go and fester. I don't think that's healthy either. It does depend on how you are but for me, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I have to talk about it.
Sounds like a really positive way of dealing with things. And I think to end this on a positive note, I don't want to end on when you've been dealing with difficult situations, but to end it on a positive note, it sounds as if you've actually, one of the reasons that you love your job and enjoy work and enjoy your working relationships is because you actually put the time in and the effort in to make sure they are things that are working for you and are working for other people within the team. It's like even
if I see new members of the team, or if I see someone else struggle, I'll always go over and just lend an ear, or as I say, I do. I'm probably a bit. Maybe I'm a bit sad, I don't know, but I do enjoy, and if I can help someone else enjoy what they're doing, like I say, for me, life is too short. You spend a lot of time at work. The best thing is for everyone to try and work together and enjoy it.
I love that attitude. Elizabeth, thank you very much